Okay, we are back to class in our economics. Please let us get set. Today, I hope you have had a very good morning, and therefore, before we proceed with the new content, let us first make a very small, brief review over what we must have heard the other time. Previously, as we were here in class, we covered a number of a lot of content. From the introduction, what could have been the definition of economics? How do you understand economics? We noted that economics, economics refers to how man, that is human beings, allocate the limited resources to fulfill or to satisfy their desires, their human desires, which are endless. And from there, therefore, we said that in this economics here, we have, I'm just getting highlights of what we completed the other time, okay? We had economic problems, which I called challenges, occasions, among which we had scarcity, we had choice, and we also had what we call opportunity cost. Yes, we say scarcity is the limitation in supply in relation to demand. And it is because of scarcity that we make choice. And we define the choice as the act of taking the right decision, to take a given commodity to satisfy one's needs. But however, in this line here, when we are making the choice, there is something which we call scale of preference that we usually take, that we usually look at when we are making a choice, because we are always availed with a variety of products out of which we have to make choice out of them, out of which we make a choice of a few. And therefore, in between here, before you make choice, you first have to have scale of preference. What is a scale of preference? When you talk about scale of preference, this one we mean the arrangement of products in relation to their level of priority. Their level of what? Of priority. In other words, you arrange these commodities, you make a list of these commodities arranging them from the most pressing need up to the least pressing what? Pressing need. For example, when you as a student, you are going to school and your parent asks you, please may you arrange your needs as you're going to school. How many needs do you always need? You have to have, there are very many. And from those many, therefore, you have soap, you have sugar, you have school fees, you have shoes, you have ETC, you have daddies, you have appetizer, you have and the rest, the pen, the books. Then you have to arrange those ones according to how much they are of significance. Some of you like watches, some of you want phones, some of you want jellies, some of you want necklaces, bangles, and the rest. So when you're making that list of preference, you must start with the most pressing one. And according to you, as a student, what is the most pressing one? I know some of you can end up starting with the pen. Some of you, pen, stockings. You may, from there, toothbrush. From there, toothpaste. Then from there, uniform. From there, others may end up writing saying, it's, where we have daddies, biscuits, then others, shoes, then another one, school fees, and many others. Some of you may do that. That's why now in reality, what would be the most pressing need out of these ones so far? I want us to understand the scale of what? Preference. Is a pen the most pressing? Can you just have a pen and you go to school? Can you have stockings and you just go to school? So some of you are very stubborn. Here instead what you have to do, for example, tell me, which one would be the first according to you? Tell us. I'm just, by the use of ticks, ticking, school fees would be number one. Number one. After having got school fees, you get what? You go to uniform. Because you can't go to school without uniform. From uniform, you get shoes. From shoes, you go on to books, pens. Pens and books. From there, you proceed. You can't put on shoes without stockings. From there, you proceed. Number 6, number 7. Then the eats can come later. Why? Because at school they prepare for you food, isn't it? Yes. So this is what we call the list of preference, out of which you go on now, achieving one by one. And when the resources are inadequate, are scarce, then you end up foregoing the rest. Okay? So when you are foregoing the rest, for example, you have got that one, you have got that, you have got that, you have got this, this and this, then this one has remained. That means it is an opportunity cost. Money is over. You have selected out of it all, and that one has remained. Otherwise, could you be having much more money? It could be your next best alternative that you could buy. Okay? Therefore, that one leads us to opportunity cost, which we defined as being the next best alternative foregone when choice is made. When we have made our choices here, we have foregone the its, which is our opportunity cost. Therefore, today, I would like us to look at the uses of opportunity cost. We start with that. The uses of opportunity cost. Uses of opportunity cost. These ones are basically four. These are basically four uses where opportunity cost some commonly applies. First and foremost, opportunity cost is used in the pricing. Used in the pricing of goods, and services. For this matter here, when you get your good, for example, this packet here of markers, when you are giving it a price, you base on opportunity cost. In that, you are going to give it a price. This price must be greater than its let me say the price for this packet or that commodity should be greater than its opportunity cost, such that for you will always be motivated to produce this highly priced commodity other than leaving it unproduced. So you will always have a highly priced commodity to motivate you, the producer, to always produce that product, basically because we look at profit maximization as the sole motive of the producer. So you cannot produce your commodity and you say, I'm going to give it a very small, a very low price and I will be motivated. No, that way will not be a rational producer. Clear? Yes. So the price will have to always be greater than the opportunity cost of that product. Then too, opportunity cost is also used in pricing. Factor inputs. In pricing factor inputs, in what? In production. In production. Among these factor inputs, for example, that is land. When you are giving a price to a fixed factor land, you give it a price which is higher, which is greater than leaving it. Rather than leaving it unutilized, you give it an inducing and enticing price to it, such that it is utilized for high level of productivity. Then labor, you have entrepreneurship, you have capital. All these ones are always given a price which is greater than their opportunity cost. And this one helps producers when they are allocating, when they are determining the rates of production. The rates of production, it helps them to calculate how much they are incurring in different production processes when they're using these factor inputs. Then number 3, we said there are basically 4. Number 3, it is used in allocation of resources. It is used in allocation of